Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Welcome to session 3 of our P-Series configuration. Here we go. So for today's session, we're actually going to talk about some core features left on our system. Something I mentioned in the previous session, like our IVR ring group called Q. Anyway, some features left on our system. We're going to figure them out in this session. So let's jump into our system and get started. Okay. So for today's session, the first thing I will talk about here is we'll just go for call features directly. And let's take a look. A bunch of call features are displayed here. So we're going to get started with voicemail. All right, so this is the first call feature. Let's take a look. All right, here we got a caller options. All right, first thing you have here. Well, we have several options. They're just totally optional for you. So you can select them or you can just forget about them. You can skip that. All right. Let's take a look at one by one. First one, allow callers to press 0 to break out from voicemail. Well, as we know, voicemail is something very basic for every single extension user, and that feature actually we can just enable it for every single extension in the extension configuration page, right? But over here, you can actually make some customization for, have some personalization, have some customization on your voicemail, all right? So this first one, if we enable that, actually, it just tells us that every single caller, they will be able to press 0 to break out from the voicemail. If you never enable this, then once they access the voicemail, they're just going to go for the voicemail directly. All right. And the next one, allow callers to dial extension. It basically means if you enable this, then once they reach the voicemail, they will be able to skip that to dial another extension. All right, so you can just make your selection. Then you can, select the extension, very particular one, which you would like to make your callers to make another dial directly. All right. Then ask callers to press 5 for leaving a message. This is kind of like we can just give them a signal, right? If I never enable this, please just follow the system prompt, then leave your message there. But if I enable this, well, we're actually going to ask our callers to dial number 5 for leaving that message. That's it. And the last one, allow callers to reveal message. This is also optional. So if you enable this, have a check here. Our callers, mostly our customers, they will actually be able to, take a review on the message they've left before. So for example, they will be able to, just like we mentioned here, callers can choose to play, save, or re-record the message after it's recorded. So it's kind of like that. We just give them another option. They will be able to do something over here once they access our voicemail. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, I prefer to disable them, all right. Let's keep going. The next part, message options. All right, not a big deal, quite clear. Max message time will be 600 seconds. I guess it's 10 minutes, right? So if you want to leave a message there by our default setting here, by our default setting here, your message is supposed to be shorter than 10 minutes. All right, minimum message time over here is 2 seconds, so you can absolutely leave a message over than 2 seconds. You cannot leave a message like, hey, no, that's not going to work because that message is shorter than 2 seconds. It doesn't work, right? And next one, greeting options. By our system default setting, we got 60 seconds for max greeting time. So if you want to make a greeting prompt, all right, you want to record something for the greeting prompt, that's okay. But make sure your greeting is shorter than 60 seconds because here we got a default configuration, default setting here. All right. And here we also have a global voicemail greeting. You can make your selection. If you keep the default one, then we're just going to play the default one to our customers. Or if you have some recorded prompt like I did before, so they will be displayed in the drop-down list. You can make your selection here. All right. Not a big deal. And the next one, voicemail auto cleanup. So how about the auto cleanup, right? This might be another question for us. We can simply just go click on auto cleanup here. Well, you guys take a look. We actually just go access the system settings, the storage. Have a check here. We simply just go access the storage of the system configuration. Here we go. This is the auto cleanup. All right, so this is the place exactly you can set auto cleanup rules for everything, not just for voicemail. Take a look. You can set auto cleanup rule for your CDR, for voicemail, for recording auto cleanup, for everything, guys. All of these options are totally available for you to make a customization for this auto cleanup here. And by the way, let's talk about the storage, all right? Since I mentioned about the auto cleanup. So the next one, the left side, this tab, this is actually about your storage. All right. So for our Yeastar P-Series system, first of all, we got a local flash. And if you want to expand the storage, that's fine. We do support it. You can take your USB flash disk, insert it on your P550 like I have here. Currently, you guys can see this P550 can support USB flash disk. And if we're talking about other models like P560 and P570, they both can support USB flash disk. They can also support a hard disk drive. And simultaneously, you can also have a network drive. If you want to configure one, here's the place for you to activate your network drive. All right, so these are kind of like your external storage devices for helping you to get more, more storages. That's it. All right. So generally speaking, it's quite simple, not a big deal. Like what we have here: voicemail, logs, and recordings. So just one thing: be a little bit careful. For your voicemail and your logs, you can keep them on your local flash for sure. But for recordings, guys, the auto recordings, the recording files are not going to be able to keep it kept on the local flash. All right, so you have to make sure you got available external storage device for recordings. All right. So that's just something, be a little bit careful. I guess it's not a big deal. This part of configuration is quite easy, quite simple. Everything is very clear. We just posted on the configuration portal. Tells you everything. Okay, so I guess we can get back here. Now I guess we just finish our voicemail configuration. Let's keep going. Next one's going to be feature code. About this part, I guess there's nothing we can do for configuration. I think we can simply just take a look here. Unless you want to change something, some feature code, if you want to switch it, you want to make some changes, some modification, you can go access here, make a change. Or I guess otherwise, mostly we're just going to keep the default setting here. So for some operations, if we're not so clear about the feature code, here's the place. You can just take a look. All right. Now let's talk about this, the IVR. All right. Well, I guess to make it clear, I prefer to delete everything I had before, so we're going to have a fresh start. Let's take a look at this. All right, I'm going to delete everything I had before. So what is the IVR? Interactive voice response. It's very functional. It's very popular. You can find you can find this IVR everywhere in this world. For example, here's the deal. If you guys make a call to Yeastar office, let's say you will hear something like, thank you for calling Yeastar. This is exactly what we hear on the phone, right? And then you will hear something like, for English service, please press 1. For Chinese service, please press 2. Now, if I dial number 1, I will go to the, go access the English service. Everything will be spoken English with no doubt, right? So the next step, I guess I will hear something like, for sales information, please press 1. For tech support, please press 2. Well, if I dial number 1, I would just go to the sales department. Or I dial number 2, go access the, tech support directly. So this is exactly what we can do with IVR. Everything will be handled automatically, all right? It's much easier, much simpler for handle this telephony system without human beings. We can just leave the job to the phone system. Let the phone system do the telephony things, right? That's exactly what IVR is supposed to do, right? It's quite functional. Now, how do we create this IVR? Think about it. In my previous example, let's just take that as an example, all right? We got 3 levels, generally speaking, right? Level 1 will be greetings. And level 2 will be language options, right? You got Chinese, you got English. Anyway, this is kind of like level 2. And level 3 is going to be your final destination. If you reach English IVR, you will go to the level 3 English service for sales information for tech support, right? If you reach the Chinese IVR, you're going to go to the next level, level 3 of the Chinese service for sales information and tech support. Right, that's exactly what we were talking about. So let's say the final destination, I would like to create two different ring groups. One for tech support, another one for sales information, right? For sales department. So to make it simpler, I guess currently I'm going to use a ring group as an example. So once again, I will delete everything I had before in ring group, and I will get us started with the brand new ring group like this. All right. Because like I said, I would prefer to use a ring group as the final destination. Just an example. Actually, you can take whatever you want. You can make one extension as the destination, or you can even create a queue for that destination. But anyway, for now, I guess we can talk about the ring group and IVR together. So I will just take ring group as an example. Let's create a ring group of sales department. So the name here, I guess I will create a name like a sales department. I guess I had that one before, right? So we can just select it here. And here's the ring group number. You can keep it this way, all right? That will be the number for the system internally. And then let's take a look. We got a ring strategy. We got a ring timeout. Pretty simple. Ring timeout basically means if our customers make a call comes in, if you make the ring strategy as ring all, your ring timeout will be 60 seconds. And about the ring strategy here, we actually got only two options. We have ring all and ring sequentially. If you select ring all, basically it means the members you're going to select next, they will get a phone ring simultaneously because it's ring all, right? Let's see, sales department, we got a Tina, all right? We got Tillian, Jesse, all right, three guys. They're working in this sales department, all right? For ring strategy, I guess I would like to use ring sequentially. Sequentially basically means our system will just follow the priority we have here. You guys can see I got a priority on my right hand here. So Tina's the first guy, Tillian's the second, and Jesse's the third one, all right? So our system will just follow this priority to ring those members one by one, and the ring timeout will be 20 seconds. So each member will get 20 seconds for a ring timeout. This is ring sequentially. Well, if you select ring all, basically means we're going to ring them together for 60 seconds totally. That's the ring timeout, right? Quite easy, quite simple, right? Then we will need a failover destination. So it could be hand up or a voicemail, whatever you prefer. Let's just make it simpler. Put a hand up here, all right? Then we click on save and apply. So this is the first ring group we have here, sales department. Then we will need another one, which is going to be tech support. So let's create another one, tech support, which I got before. So I guess I can select it directly. Then for tech support, I guess we would like to use ring all. All right, so I would prefer to select agents, one by one. So let's say I would select Kai, Matt, and John. All right, there you go. Then we click on save and apply. So for now, we got two different destinations. One is sales department, another one is tech support. I guess it's not finished yet because I will have another IVR, one for English service, another one for Chinese. So let's create another IVR, Chinese sales department. So here, I guess we can say something like, oops. All right, this is the, the IVR, the ring group of Chinese sales department. All right. So we're going to do something similar, select ring sequentially and select our agents. Now, in this team, I guess we can probably select Amelia and Stella. All right, let's just see. These two girls are going to work in this department, and we're going to click on Save directly and Apply. Don't forget it. And we will need another one, which is tech support. All right. Then, same as usual, I will use ring strategy, ring all, and we will need two agents. All right, let's see, Channy, and I guess Nicole. All right. So we're going to click on Save and Apply. All right, so it seems that currently we just figured out our final destination configuration, right? So it's all set. Now we can back to our IVR, start our configuration here. Now, guys, think about it. In my previous examples, I was talking about the IVR. The one I was talking about, it has 3 levels. So the third level is going to be the final destination. This is going to be the level 3. And actually, the IVR structure looks like a pyramid. It looks like a triangle system. So when you try to create an IVR, absolutely you're going to start from the bottom to the top. That's exactly how to get started with the IVR creation. You're gonna make sure your system is actually capable for some destinations, foundations. Then you will be able to keep going to reach the final. The top side, right? That's the way how we create the IVR. So here we're gonna create the IVR English service. All right, like this. And the prompt here, obviously, I guess I was talking about the prompt in the previous session, right? Still remember? The custom prompt. Don't forget it, all right? You're going to go access the, PBX settings, go find voice prompt, and you're going to click on custom prompt over here to record something new for your system. All right, 2 options for you to create a new custom prompt. Number 1, you can just record the prompt through your extension directly. So you're going to get a phone ring, pick it up, start your recording. And option 2, you can actually upload your prompt from your computer, from your local. Anyway, that's just the option 2. Anyway, just be careful. It's going to be a custom prompt, not a system prompt. All right. Then we're going to get back to the IVR, create this one. I guess it's English. All right. The prompt, you can just make your selection. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Currently, I don't have any extension to record that, so I guess we can just keep it this way, all right? Then, prompt repeat count depends on you. How many times would you like to play this prompt to your customers, all right? By default, is 3 times, and we also have response timeout. So it's kind of like we play the prompt to our customers, and we're going to wait for their feedback, right? You're going to do something there. We're going to wait for the response. So it's 3 seconds. I would just wait you for 3 seconds. And also we got a digit timeout. Digit timeout, it depends. Sometimes we might use this. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. It depends, like I said. If we only ask our customers to enter 1 single digit, that's fine, not a big deal. But sometimes maybe we will ask them to enter multiple digits, a bunch of numbers, a bunch of figures, like please enter the authentication code or identification number, anyway, something like that. So it basically means the number you're going to dial, it has multiple digits, not just 1 single digit. So absolutely, we need a digit timeout here. So like by default setting, it's 3 seconds. So if you dial that number during 3 seconds, you never do anything else, then our system would just take the number you've dialed as your final as your final result. That's it. Other features we have here, like dial extensions, dial outbound routes, dial to check voicemail. I guess for now, currently, we don't need to do anything here. Not necessary. I'm going to talk about these 3 features a little bit later, okay? Let's keep going. So this is going to be the English IVR. The next step, go for key press event here. We're going to define the destination. So press 1 for sales information. It will be our ring group, sales department. Press 2 for tech support. It will be the ring group of our, tech support. All right. And as for other digits, I can just leave it empty. I can just keep it this way. Then I will simply just set the destination for response timeout and invalid input destination. So for now, if our customers dial something like number 6, number 8, number 9, pound key, asterisk key, anyway, those keys are all for, invalid input. So here we can set a destination. I guess sometimes we would like to play this IVR again. For example, if you reach the timeout, I would like to play this IVR again, but obviously we cannot. Guess what? Because you never click on save button, so you don't have any option here. All right. So what you're going to do here is, if you want to play this IVR again, if your customers dial something wrong or reach the timeout, you can click on save first. All right. Make sure this IVR is existed in the list. Then over here, we'll be able to select this IVR. It will be displayed here. All right. So it's quite easy, quite simple. All right. Click on save and apply. Don't forget it. All right. Not finished yet. We have another IVR, which is Chinese. All right. So, Chinese service. So here we go. Chinese. And once again, don't forget to select your, Chinese prompt, all right? And other settings, I guess we can just keep it this way, all right? For a key press event, it will be a different destination. Press 1 for sales information. Obviously, our system will not going to speak, English for now because you're just accessing the Chinese IVR. So it will be a ring group tech support, Chinese sales department, and press 2 for tech support. So here we go. All right. Then for the response timeout and invalid key destination, I guess we can do something similar. So save it first, and then we're going to click on edit. So we'll be able to select this IVR in the list. Okay, there you go. Click on save and apply for it. Now, I guess we can keep going for the final step, the last step. The last step is going to be the IVR. You can name it like welcome, greetings, whatever you prefer. All right, let's say greetings. Then the prompt here, you can actually select multiple prompts for sure, because sometimes if you want to play music, you want to play advertisements, whatever you want to play there, you can just upload it here. You can select multiple prompts for sure. All right. And let's give it a check on some advanced settings, like dial extensions. It really makes sense for now because mostly our customers, they call to this IVR, and if you give them an option to skip the IVR to call some other extensions directly, it makes sense, right? So here you can just enable this feature. You can enable all of our extensions. So any extension number will be available for our customers to dial directly through the IVR, or we can select allowed extensions. Some specific guys or girls will be able to get connected with our customers directly, skip this IVR. Or you can select restricted extensions. Some selected extensions is not going to be available for our customers to dial through this IVR directly. All right, let's just keep it simple, all right? I'm going to disable this. And next feature, dial outbound routes. Honestly, this is not that popular because if you enable this feature, basically means anyone out there, if they reach this IVR, they will be able to use their outbound route for another outgoing call. It's not that popular. Sometimes we might use this feature for our internal users who got a business trip. Like if I got a business trip, I'm out of the office, and my Linkus doesn't work, or I don't have a smartphone, I don't have internet access. So which means I cannot use my Linkus. Well, I guess I can use this feature if I want to call my customer. But I don't think this is a big deal because for today, everybody got a smartphone. Network is pretty good, so not that popular. And the next one, dial to check voicemail. This is something about the personal privacy. So if you click on that, we're going to show you this. For better security, if you have enabled dial to check voicemail, please change your extension's voicemail access pane just for your privacy. All right. And once again, if you have Linkus on your mobile, I don't think you will need this. All right. Then for key press event, it's quite clear. Now, press 1 for English service, it will be IVR English. Press 2 for Chinese service, it will be IVR of Chinese. And something we're going to do it as usual. Click on save, and let's go get here. Because we would like to play this IVR over again and again. So you will select the IVR greetings. Here, IVR greetings. All right, so we will be able to play this IVR again to our customers if they have some, if they took some mistakes there or they just reached the timeout. All right, so this is about the IVR creation, and as for how do we make use of the IVR, simply just take the IVR greetings in your inbound route destination. All right. Okay, and I guess we just finished our IVR and ring group, and let's keep going. Next feature, I will talk about the queue. Let's give it a check here. Well, I got lots of queue existed in the list, all right? Let's just create a new one, all right? Forget about that. Let's keep going. So the queue is actually like a professional solution for a service center, I guess. So like if you have a sales department and you're providing, currently you're providing some sort of consulting services. Anyway, I don't know. You will need a service center solution, right? Then I guess we can create a queue. So lots of customer calls, we're going to put them in this queue, be on hold. That's quite a solution, right? Pretty smart. So here we go. When we try to create a queue, here we got a queue number, and here we got a queue name. So you can just name whatever you prefer. Like this is going to be a service 1, 2, 3. All right. It could be a service team. It's called service 1, 2, 3 anyway, right? Then here we got a ring strategy. Well, not like ring group. Here we have many options. we got to ring all least recent, fewest cost, random, round robin, and linear. So this is absolutely an advanced solution, right? Ring all, quite simple. All of your selected members, your static agents, your dynamic agents, they're all going to get a phone ring simultaneously. And if I select list recent, so the person who got list recent calls will be the next guy get a phone ring. And if I select fewest cost, well, in this team, who's going to be the guy get a fewest cost? Well, next call, it will ring you for sure. And if we select random, you've got no idea who's going to be the next guy get a phone ring. All right. And round robin with memory hunt. Well, we have a list, all right? I will show you guys later in the member list. You can select a bunch of user members in that list, your agents, right? So if you select round robin with memory hunt, our system will just follow our, the list you have there to run those members, followed by this round robin rule. So it's kind of like if the first call comes in, it rings the first agent. Let's say agent Tina, all right? Then when the next call comes in, it will be switched to the next agent automatically. Let's see Tillian. So Tillian will be the next guy get a phone ring. That's the round robin. And also we have a linear. If you select linear here, our system will just completely follow the priority for those agents, in the list, one by one. So it's kind of like every single time we're going to get a phone ring on Tina, all the time because you're the first guy. Unless you're occupied or you're not available. So this call will be, switched to the second guy. All right. Let's say round robin, all right? Okay. Then here we got a music on hold. We can keep a default setting. So we're going to play the default music on hold. Or you can just select no. We're going to play nothing. All right? Max waiting time, it basically means our customers, they call to this queue. How many seconds, how many minutes can they wait in this queue? By default setting, 1800 seconds. And also, we got a failover destination. Flexible for you, many options. You can set it as hang up, extension voicemail, or IVR, or some other destinations, whatever you prefer. All right. Agent options. Let's give it a check. Agent timeout. Well, this is quite easy. For agent timeout, if we got a call comes in, if I set the ring strategy round robin with memory hunt. So let's say the first call is ring. It rings Tina. So Tina's agent timeout, 30 seconds. All right. And also we have retry interval. Retry interval basically means in your list, in your team member list, let's see I got 5 agents. None of them pick it up, all right? None of them just pick this call up. Then our system will just follow the ring strategy to ring them one by one, and then we're going to wait for 30 seconds to start another turn. If customers, they never hand it up, then wait for 30 seconds. Our system will just start to ring those members again. All right. And also, we got a wrap-up time, 30 seconds by default. So every single agent will have a 30-second wrap-up time, like a break. So you're going to take a break there, take a cup of coffee, whatever you need there. So during that 30 seconds, you're free. All right, you're totally out of this queue. No one's gonna send a call to you during that 30 seconds. All right, it's a wrap up time for you. Next one, agent announcement. I guess mostly we're gonna keep the default setting here. Not that necessary, but sometimes if you want to play a very particular prompt to your agent, if they join the queue, you can probably make a recording. All right, so you can upload it here. The next one, ring use. If you enable this, then any agent, if currently he or she is occupied for now, and we got an incoming call right now, this call will be on hold on him. We're not going to skip her or him because we just enable ring use. All right. The members, here we go. We got a dynamic agent. You can select anyone. Let's see, Ramon's going to work as the dynamic agent. The only one dynamic agent. There you go. And as for other users, if I never select them as the dynamic agents, well, you guys keep going with what you have there, all right? Because you're not going to be any, there's nothing to do with you about this queue. You cannot join this queue as the dynamic agent because I never select you. All right. And next one, static agents. All right, let's see Tina, Tillian, Jesse, Kai. All right, so 4 static agents. There you go. You guys are in this queue all the time. And also we have queue managers. All right, so you can take one, not for extension, work as the queue manager. All right, it could be someone in the team. It could also be someone out of the team. For example, like I'm gonna make Jason as the queue manager. So there you go. You guys are gonna handle incoming calls from our customers, but I'll be the supervisor. All right, the system gonna show me your performance. All right. And about that performance, actually, I think I'm gonna talk about that, more details of this queue managers in our next session, okay? So just hold there for a sec, okay? So today we'll just talk about some configurations on our PBX about call features. And as for, I'm pretty sure you guys may have some questions about the queue managers, about how do we manage this queue, right? And what about, and also about web client, how does it look like? Well, we're going to talk about more details in the next session. Something like this queue manager. How do we use it? I'm going to talk about more details later in the next session. Okay, let's keep going. Then for queue managers, here by our system default setting, we just enable some items. Some operations like notify manager when a queue call is missed, notify manager when a queue call is abandoned, notify manager when the SLA is lower than its alarm threshold. So anyway, I just set the mailbox for this extension 2000 in advance, so absolutely I would get an email notification, all right, if something happened. Let's keep going. Then next one, preferences for this queue. So we have something very basic like maximum callers in queue. If you put it 0, I mean, if you drop 0 over here, it basically means there's no limitation. Give it a check here. So basically means for queue members, as much as you like, as many as you want. All right, if I put a 0 here. And we can also enable leave empty. So, if enabled, like we said, distribute callers to the failover destination directly because we just enable leave empty. So if there's no agent in this queue, we're going to drop it to the failover destination. But we can also enable join empty. So even there's no agent here, sometimes we might probably need a queue with a whole bunch of dynamic agents. All right, so that really happens, right? Then we can just enable join empty. All right, next one, service level agreement. This is something more like it. I mean, if you're really running a service center, I guess this is something so important for you. Service level agreement. Let's take a look. According to our default setting, I mean, the preset we have here, SLA time, 60 seconds. SLA alarm rule, 30 minutes. I mean, this evaluation interval, 30 minutes. Alarm threshold is 80%. So according to this preset, it basically works like this. Our system will just calculate how many calls you have there totally and how many incoming calls, you have there totally and how many incoming calls your agents handle it under 60 seconds. And then the evaluation will be quite simple. We're going to just calculate how many calls total you have there and how many calls you handled under 60 seconds. All right? Then the result will be a percentage, right? So we're going to show you the percentage. The percentage of this performance, sales performance, if that performance is over 80%, well, that's because that's the threshold. It basically tells us, well, it's okay. Our team performance for now is not that bad. It's pretty good, I guess. But if it's lower than 80%, well, then basically just tell us that, hey, what's up, team? You guys seems not that excited. All right, pump it up. Kind of like that. This is, the way how we use the SLA, service level agreement. But once again, like I said, the way how we use it, it will actually be displayed on our web client, the QPanel interface. I'm going to talk about that in the next session, okay? So today is kind of like how do we configure everything, make everything all set. And tomorrow we're going to talk about how do we present our configurations on our customers. So show them how do you use that, all right? And here evaluation interval is kind of like every 30 minutes we're going to calculate it, all right? Okay, next one, announcement. Join announcement, all right? So for every single caller, if they join the queue, you can play announcement to them or not. Depends on you. It's a custom announcement, right? And here we can also enable agent ID announcement. So of course, we're going to play the agent ID to our customers. Next one, caller position announcements. So sometimes if you're running a service center which is quite busy, so perhaps our customers, they will need to wait there for a while, I guess you can enable this. Just to tell them that, hey, be patient, all right? We're going to announce the position. We're going to announce the hold time, like that. Frequency is 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, we're going to play this announcement to our customers. Besides that, we can also add a queue announcement. So I guess sometimes you can add something like advertisement if you want. There you go. You can just add your advertisement here, play it to your customer. Like something you want to talk about it, you want to show it to your customers. There you go. Next one would be satisfaction survey prompt. All right. So make a recording there. You can also play the satisfaction survey to your customers once they finish this call. So they're going to follow the system prompt to make some operations. It will be totally recorded in our reports. All right. Last one will be queue press event. So sometimes customers, if they don't want to wait in this queue, we can probably give them another option, like please enter the pound key to leave a message, I guess. All right. So this is about the preferences of this queue configuration. And the last one, QPanel permissions. What is the QPanel, guys? This is exactly the thing I mentioned before. So we just create a queue. That's okay. Everything will be handled by the system automatically. But if there any visualized way for us to manage the queue, of course, why not? Because on our P-Series system, we do support web client. And on your web client, you got a QPanel. So if you want to manage your queue performance, please go access the web client. And there you go. And as for how can I manage this queue, or what can I do with this queue, it depends on the user permission you have there. So for our QPanel management, we got two identities. We got manager and agents. So you guys can give it a look here. So if you enable all these operations for manager, and if I turn myself into a manager identity, then when I log into my web client there, and when I try to manage this queue, I can do whatever I want because all these operations are going to be available for me. And I can also turn some other users as agents. So, other agents. Let's see other agents. I can just disable these operations for them. So there's nothing they can do. The only thing you're going to do there is just stay focused on your job, handle customer calls. You're not going to be able to do any operations here. Well, just an example, all right? Then just click on Save and apply for it. And once again, guys, like I said, this is kind of like, because we're in the configuration portal today, so this is kind of like the way how we configure this queue. And as for how we make use of that queue, I'm going to talk about more details in the next session in our web client. All right? So let's keep going. Next feature, conference. Give it a check here. So on our P-Series, we do support a conference. If you want to start a conference, I guess, go ahead. You can create one. So here you can create a conference. Probably we can create a conference like a conference 101. All right. Anyway, then select your members. The member you're going to select here is going to work as the moderator. All right. As for other members, please make a call to this conference number. By the way, I can set a password here. So if you want to join the conference, please enter the password. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to join the conference. We can also set a password for moderators. So moderators can also use the password to join the conference as well. All right. Let's see. John's going to work as the moderator. And here we can also enable wait for moderator. So if John's not in the conference, no one can start a conversation. You're going to be on hold there. Here we also have a voice prompt. We're going to use the default prompt just to notify you to join the conference. Or we can choose extension number, play it to the caller, to people who's going to join the conference. All right. And by our default setting, allow extension participants to invite. So anyone joining the conference, you can actually use the conference menu to invite other users in this conference by feature code. Or maybe you can use the web client to invite other users in the conference directly without feature code. All right. Then click on Save and apply for it. So this is the way how we create a conference. Quite simple, all right. Next feature, speed dial. Let's have a look. Speed dial is nothing special, but something very functional, I guess, for some times. Simply you just put a speed dial number, all right? Could be anything. Number 8, number 9, whatever you prefer, and put your phone number here. It could be your internal user's extension number. It could be an external number. All right, just put it over here. And next time, if you want to call this guy, I guess you can just use the speed dial feature code. This one, asterisk 89 plus your speed dial code, and there you go. All right, that's it. Just be a little bit careful when you try to use the speed dial code, all right? If the phone number you select here is internal number, extension number, that's not a big deal. But if this is going to be an external number, well, you will need to be a little bit careful with your outbound route. Because for external number, you're actually going to use the outbound route for that outgoing call. So you have to give it a check on your outbound route configuration, see the dial pattern, what dial pattern you have there. Let's say if I have a dial pattern number 9 at the very beginning as the identification number, just like I mentioned in the previous section. Well, over here, you're going to put number 9 over here. All right, otherwise, this feature doesn't work. Okay, because speed dial is kind of like a system going to send the number automatically through the outbound route. It's not like your manual dialing. All right, so it's totally different. Be careful with that. All right, now let's keep going. The last one, recording. I guess this is going to be the last one I will talk about in today's session. All right, something left on our system. We're going to finish them in the next session. And more importantly, in the next session, we're going to talk about the web client and even the QPanel. How do we use that? All right, so let's keep going. About the recording feature, give it a check here. All right, first thing you have here is a note. Only when the storage location for recording files is configured, the recording function will take effect. Please set it up in the system storage. Just like I mentioned at the very beginning, all right? You guys will need to make sure if you want to store your recording, make sure you got external, storage devices, external storage device. All right. Otherwise, you can't use this feature. All right, and the first thing we have here is enable recording of internal calls. It's optional for you. If you don't want to use this, forget about that. All right, and the second step is whatever you want to record there, you will need a prompt here. It's very important, guys, because you don't want to get any legal trouble. Because sometimes if you take a recording secretly, well, perhaps you get a trouble from an attorney office. Some lawyer will perhaps make a call to you. You got a problem there. So it's very important. Make sure you got a prompt here just to notify your customers. This is not about personal privacy. This is I just notify you first. This call will be recorded. If you're okay, then okay. If you're not okay, you can just hang it up. All right. This recording is I'm sorry. This prompt is actually a custom prompt. So you're actually going to record something in advance by yourself and select it here. All right. Then we can make our selection. Which trunk are we going to take recording? Like if I select LTE, so any call go through this LTE trunk will be recorded. And if I select extension, like 1008, it basically means any call go for extension 1008 will be recorded. All right? And we also have record conference. You can also select it. And the next one will be record queues. Whatever you need, you can just make your selection. I guess perhaps you guys may have a little bit question here. You have some question about this trunk and extension. Probably you just want to know if there any connection between them. Well, don't worry about that. If you select this trunk, it basically means any call go through this trunk will be recorded. And if you select extension 1008, it doesn't matter. Any call go through other trunks, it's okay. But if that call is go for this extension 1008, that will be recorded. It's quite clear. All right. Then we can just click on save and apply for it. That's it. All right. All right, guys. So I guess that was all we have for this session. And generally speaking, our P-Series system is quite simple, quite easy. I think it's a really user-friendly system if you try to start your configuration by yourself. All right. But anyway, if something's not clear, you guys please remember, get back over here, check our video tutorial. All right. Okay. So we got something left. Like I said, we're going to finish them out in the next session. Okay, so I will catch you guys in the next one.